Hi, good morning, and this is the new video. I am coming up with new video, which is flexible workflow in SAP on-premise or public cloud system. This is very familiar. We are familiar with this word, that flexible workflows. This is the advanced version of release strategy, which was available into the ECC system, but into the SAP S4 HANA, this flexible workflow has been introduced. So as of now, I have only the SAP S4 HANA system, on-premise system, but in I have also worked on the public cloud version. Into that system, flexible workflow, the entire things, that means the entire configuration is completely same. That means 100% same. So if you are able to understand the how to maintain the flexible workflow into the on-premise system, then you can easily do this the entire configuration into the public cloud as well. So this is very new thing, and I hope this video you will definitely like, and after this video you will be able to understand from the scratch to the advanced level how to maintain a flexible workflow. And today into the today's session I will discuss about the how to maintain the flexible workflow for the supplier invoice. I will just want to go inside the system, and here you can see the interface of the SAP S4 HANA screen, where here the lots of several number of applications you can see. These are the call applications, as you are already familiar with this. Although I am just telling these things because who are working into the S4 HANA very new, they were very new for the S4 HANA system. So only for that audience I am just explaining these things. These are called the applications or apps, you can say. So in our ECC on-premise system, they're having only the, that means GUI screen, but into the S4 HANA, they're having two portions. Like they're having they're having some GUI system, and as well as you can see here some Fiori applications are there. By using the Fiori applications, we also can able to do the entire thing. That means the transaction, any kind of transactions, any kind of report if we want, or the graphical presentation. So that is also possible into the S4 HANA Fiori applications. Okay. So the point is today's discussion is over the flexible workflow. So to enable the flexible workflow, I would like to share something, because we need to activate some workflow scenarios. That is most important, and activate this. For doing this scenario activation, we must go into the GUI portion. Only after that we can see that into the Fiori application the impact will come. Okay. So I have already logged in my GUI screen, and here I would like to go inside the how to activate the any scenario IDs. As I have told you that I will go for the invoice sections. So need to go inside the logistic invoice verification, incoming invoice, and here flexible workflow for supplier invoice. Within that you can see that scenario activations are there, and activate flexible workflow for supplier invoice. At first you must go into this section, and here if you want, if you are not if you are willing to go for the release completed invoice, that time you must enable this checkbox. Otherwise you will not be able to do these things. So I will definitely discuss about the what is release completed invoice. So so at first we need to check this option and just go back, and then we must activate the scenario. So as I have already activated this scenario ID 800303. This is workflow scenario ID. And once you have just adding these things, whenever you are working into your system, you might not no, you might see that there is no activate of the this scenario ID. So to when you are working on the flexible workflow for the supplier invoice Park document, so that time you must enable this workflow scenario ID. So just do these things. That means just click on the new entries and just put this entire scenario activity same like that. And once you have just activate that thing. You can see that your ID, your user ID and respective date and time will be appear here. Okay, so after this, after doing this only two portion, you need to enable into the GUI portion. And once you have completed this configuration, now we can go inside the Fiori application. So to enable or maintain the flexible workflow, we must need one application authorization. If you are not able to access this application, you must approach to your basis guy or security guy. So the application name is Manage Workflows for Supplier Invoice. Here you can see this application is showing here. But if you are if your user ID is not able to authorized or access having not access the these applications, so you will not be able to see these application as well. So just click on that application. And once I have clicking on these things, so here you can see that into this portion, workflow for parked invoice has completed. This portion I will today I will discuss about these things. So just click on that. So here you can see several number of workflow which has already been created. But to so now I will go for the creation. Click on the create button. So after click on the create button, here you can see automatically by default system is taking the new workflow as a name. So as per your requirement, you can change your workflow name and the description as well. So as of now, I am taking one name, test workflow for demo. Okay, so the same name you can also put into the description section, or otherwise you can put the another things here. And here you can see some valid form and valid to. As of now, I am just taking these two field blank because I don't want to restrict this flexible workflow for any certain period of time. So just keep this two field blank. And then here you can see this is comes under the properties. And if you just click on the start condition, then this is the most important point here. The start condition is nothing but into the ECC system. When we work on the release strategy, they are having some characteristics and classes concept where the classes were there, right? So into the flexible workflow, into the on Fiori application or public cloud, here the concept is start condition. Start condition is nothing but the triggering point or triggering portion. If you just click on this, so here you can see several number of options are there, right? Company code, then invoice based on purchase order, less value or greater than value, whatever you want, you just select from this list. Okay, so as of now I am just taking the company code here. So I would like to share something about the start condition. Start condition is nothing but when you are going to maintain the workflow, right? So at first system will look that the what is the start condition. Suppose you are maintaining your company code like ABCD, okay? And if your system and now you are going to create one invoice document with ABCD company code, right? If in your invoice document, system will find that your company code is ABCD and which is completely maintained into the workflow, then only system will go further. And if you are maintaining some XYZ company code into your invoice document, but you have already maintained into the workflow as ABCD, then system will just ignore that workflow. Okay, so this is the fundamental of start condition. So start condition is most important. So here I am using some company codes. Okay, so company code I am using here. And then once you have completed these things, either you can use one or two or more than any number of preconditions. That means the start condition you can use. Okay, here I am using only the company code. If you want to add something, so here is the most important, please don't skip this portion. Here you can see the plus, and here the create alternative preconditions. This is most important concept here. Suppose you are willing to go for a workflow where the start condition is a combination of two things. Suppose you are maintaining the company code ABCD whatever, and you are also maintaining some value. Suppose you are maintaining here amount. Okay, suppose less than 100,000 euro or $1,000. Okay, so here I am using the plus plus concept. Okay, so after using the plus, suppose I am maintaining here €1,000. So what is the meaning of that? So here the start condition is a system will look that in your invoice document, if this company code and this amount will match, only then system will look further. Okay, and if suppose in your invoice document the company code is properly matched but the invoice document is more than €1,000, then system will completely ignore that workflow again. Okay, so this is the concept of plus. If you are familiar with the Boolean algebra or logic gate, then you can understand, or you can just assume that this is the like AND gate and this is like OR gate. Okay, so this is the plus icon. So as of now I am just erasing these things. Just click on the cross icons to delete that start condition. Now I will discuss about the create alternative preconditions. So this is the alternative way. That means either this condition or another condition. Suppose I am maintaining another company code here. Okay, so now the thing is system will look either if this company code or that company code is available or not into your invoice document. Suppose you have maintained ABCD and XYZ, these two company code into your workflow. Okay, and you are going to create one invoice document with ABCD, then system will definitely look that into the workflow ABCD and XYZ, both options are there. So if any of the value is matching into the invoice document, then system will go further. Okay, so as of now I am just taking two company codes here. This is very easy. So if you just understand the and the or gates, then it will be very easy to understand. Okay, so now I am just going inside the another thing. So start condition I have created already. Now go into the step condition. So once the start condition will satisfied, only then system will look for the step condition. This is most important. So just click on the create button, and here you can see some step name is available here. So step name you can put as per your requirement. I am taking that the invoice less than €1,000. And here the step type, here by default system will take the automatic release of complete invoice. Just change it into the release of complete invoice. Okay, and once you have just click on that things, so here you can see the step properties, which is exclude restricted agent. This is also a very important thing. Suppose your organization wants that kind of scenario. Suppose you are the approver, that means suppose into your workflow some 3 or 4 approvers user ID is mentioned. Okay, and suppose you are creating one invoice document, then if you go with that option, that means exclude workflow initiator, that means system will by default ignore your user ID, and rest of the 3 guy will be the approver, and you will not be approver for that invoice document. Okay, so this is the exclude restricted agents. Okay, so as of now I am keeping this field blank. But if in your project it is important or this kind of scenario will come, then you can go with that option, exclude the workflow initiator. This is also most important uh, thing. Okay, now you can see here recipients is nothing but when you are creating one invoice document, who will be the approver, right? So for the approver we can maintain here into the recipient thing, right? So here either you can go with role. So if you just click on these options, so you can see that person responsible for the cost center and several number of options are there. Otherwise, if you go with the user wise, right? When you are selecting the user, system will taking the user IDs. Who will be the approver? Okay. So suppose your invoice document will approve by your manager, senior manager. So both of them. So for that 2 guy, the user ID should maintain here properly. Otherwise, system will not consider that they are the approver. Okay. So as of now, I am taking my user ID for testing purpose. Okay. And suppose here you are taking 3 or 4 user IDs. Okay. And here 2 options are there, one of the recipients and all of the recipients. That means if you click on the one of the recipients, and suppose you are taking 4 or 5 guys into the user's name, so any of the guy, if they just click on the release or approve button, then that document will be released properly. And if you click on the all of the recipients, then it is the mandatory thing that those 5 guys should uh, release that document only then, or approve that document only then, that document should be go for the further, that means the further will be released. Okay, so this is the concept of these two things. And here the step conditions, that means in for which condition that this step will work, right? So here I am taking the amount less than value, because as you can see that I have taken the name invoice less than 1,000, so I have taken this step condition less than value, and here I am maintaining the 1,000 euro. Okay, and after maintaining these things, here you can see also there here also plus and create alternative preconditions are there, so you can also use these two options as per your requirement. Now I am coming with deadline is also useful things. Suppose your organization's requirement is like that, when the suppose you are the approver and one invoice document is waiting in your my inbox, that means in your application, that this document should approve by yourself, right? And you are uh, not approve or not taking any actions on that document, then system will giving you, or system will send you one intimation, one reminder like that. That means that is the thing of deadline, when you are the exceed that timeline which you have maintained into these things, this system. Suppose here I am taking, right, at first I'm selecting these options, supplier invoice, and I am taking suppose 2 minutes here for testing purpose. So I am taking 2 minutes. So what is the mean about that? After 2 minutes, either system will show that these document as marked as overdue. Otherwise, if you want, then send one mail notification to your in your mail ID. Okay, that means that this invoice document is waiting for your action. These kind of things you will get a notification, email notification actually. So by using this deadline, this is also very useful thing. And here the who will be the recipients, that means who will get the email. The recipient is the processor of task, that means the approver, right? So these two portion don't touch with don't touch or don't change anything here. So just click on the create button. So what is the mean about that deadline? I'm just repeating once again very shortly. After 2 minutes, the approver will get a email notification, and into the email body it will like that one this invoice document is waiting for your action, just like that. Okay, now just come into the exception handling. Here you can see, or other you can just click on that. So exception handling is a also useful thing. Here suppose you are the approver and you were just rejecting one document, one invoice document. Okay, and after rejection of that document, what should be the next step? That means after rejection, if you want that this document is go for the rework thing, that means the workflow initiator again do some changes or modify into the invoice document. So this is the portion where you can do these things. Okay, so rework invoice, and the recipient here you can see determined automatically. What is the mean of that? Suppose I am the I have created one invoice document and you are the approver. Okay, so suppose you are the approver, and you are not satisfied with that invoice document, so you just when you are just clicking on the reject button, I have already created that document, so I will get an email notification that this invoice document has been rejected. Okay, so once you have just click on the rework invoice, system will show the by default role as a determined automatically. That means system will find out who has created that document. Okay, and after that you just click on the restart workflow. This is the mandatory thing, because after rejection the workflow should be restart. Either you can go with that restart or you can go for the repeat step. Okay, so as of now I am taking the restart workflow. So this is all about inside the step, and just click on the create button. Once you have just click on the create button, you can see here that system is thrown out from the step. Okay, so now you are out from the step section. Okay, so this is the, and now I am coming with this notification thing. So this notification portion I is a quite it required one separate videos, because this notification is not a very straightforward thing. So I would like to go for the, I have already completed into this video as a start condition, step condition, and exception handling. But these three things, how notification tab will come, then how email notification can create an email trigger, these three portion I will definitely create as separate videos. But as of now I am just saving this workflow. Okay, so after click on the save button, either you can go for the activate, or if you are not pretty sure that I need to do some changes inside the workflow, so you can do these things. And if you just click on the back portion, so you can see here that your workflow, test workflow for the demo, here you can see it is now in draft mode. Okay, that means in draft. Okay, and if you were pretty sure that no, this is completed, so you can go with that portion. That means just click on the activate button, and once you have activate the workflow, that means this workflow has been activated. And here you can see that the status also been changed. But now we need to do another thing. Just click on the define order and click on these options. So you can see now that your workflow is comes into the order number 1. That means system order is nothing but a priority level. That means suppose here 3 workflow has been created, right? But when you are creating any invoice document, system will at first looks for the first workflow. If no value is matched with the first workflow, then it will go for the second and third one. Okay, but rest all the workflow you can see here as a inactivate mode, right? Inactive mode. So inactive or inactivate mode is nothing but system will just ignore that workflows. Okay, so here you can see that active, that means I have activated this workflow. Now just go straight forward inside the GUI, and where I will create one invoice document for the park, and I will go for the parked invoice as completed. How? Just click on the MIR7 T code. As we know that into the MIR7 transaction code, we can do the parked invoice things. Just put your company code. And for this example, I am taking non-PO invoice. I'm just taking 100 euro. Okay, which will definitely satisfy our workflow, as we have maintained 1000 euro in my workflow. And in the invoice party, you can put the supplier name, because I am going to create one invoice document which is based on non-PO. And for the non-PO invoice, the cost center is mandatory thing. So once you have created the supplier invoice and you would like to go for the save as parked document, so just click on the save as completed, because unless you were clicking on the save as completed, this document will not go for the approval thing. That means it will not consider as a workflow. Okay, that means it will not workflow will not trigger for this invoice document. So if you willing to go for the workflow, so you must click on the save as completed. Once you have save as completed, so you can see here some document number has created. The last 4 digit is 7765. Okay, 7765. So this document we can see into the Fiori application. So to see the list of invoice document, you must having the authorization of one Fiori application, which is supplier invoice list. Just click on this application, and here you can see the list of Fiori applications which are the based on your company code. So just put your company code which you have mentioned into the invoice document. So here you can see that last number 7765, this document has been created, and the status has been showing that the status is showing like parked and completed. If you just go inside these things, this invoice, so here you can see the approval status is in approval. That means this document is properly go for the approval level, and and the approver is showing as my id. Okay, this is my id. So so now I need another applications authorization, which is called as my inbox application, where the approver will go inside that application and they can take action. Either they can go for the release or go for the rejection. So here I will open another tab. Just right click here, and if you click on the open new link in new tab, then you can open one new tab where the home page will come. Okay, so here you just put your application name, my inbox, and you can see that my inbox are several number of applications which are showing here. But I would like to go inside the all items in application. So if you just click on that and click on again here, so here you can see that the last four digit number 7765. The here you can see the last four digit 7765, which is showing into my inbox. And here it is here two options are there, release or reject. If you're willing to go for the release, then just click on that release option. As of now, I am just taking this option, release. So here I am taking as approved. Okay, so just click on the submit. So you will not be able to see anymore here into the my inbox page, because you have already taken action as approved. And to change the status, you can see if you just go inside the supplier invoice list again and click on back, and if you just click on the 7765 this document again, so here you can see the status has already been changed. That means it is the status is now showing as posted. If you click on that option, so here you can see the approval details. Here you can see the released with note. Some note is it is showing. The note is nothing but whatever the note you have maintained during the action. So whatever the note you have mentioned or maintained in during the release or rejection of the document, that note is showing here. Okay, and if you just click on the back option, and if you go inside the one second, I'm just trying to show another thing. If you just go inside this option, one second. Yeah, this is all about the no. So this is all about the supplier invoice list, where it is showing as approved here. And who is the approver? You can also see the name of that approver, and the invoice status is now been posted. So this is all about the supplier invoice as Spark document. Sorry, supplier invoice as completed. This the entire thing I have mentioned here, but I haven't mentioned the notification thing, which is required the separate video that will come in my part 2 video for the flexible workflow. And later I will definitely cover up purchase requisition and purchase order, these two things. So thank you for watching my video. Thank you so much.